Universal Light Family Network. Service through the power of thought and feeling. We propose a service activity, using the power of thought, feeling, meditation and of prayer to uplift, raise and transform consciousness. Any amount of people may agree to connect and link in thought and feeling each day. Using individual and collective prayers, a world prayer, we may visualize energies of light, love and goodwill circulating and pouring in and out through the all, surrounding us, the planet, and all inhabitants. Participants may imagine the hearts and minds of the human and animal families being irradiated with light, love and goodwill, strengthening all that is good and true and of beauty in the world. In this two-way universe, light which is inwardly directed toward gravity charges mass and discharges space. When directed toward space it charges space and discharges mass. All direction of force in nature is spiral. The perpetuity of creation is based upon the constant giving of one half of a cycle to the other half for the purpose of repeating the creative process through another cycle of giving for regiving. Rhythmic balanced interchange between all pairs of opposite conditions in this divided universe is the key to the attainment of man and woman's greatest desires and highest aims. Desire is not in the brain. It is in the centering conscious self, the divine mind and presence. Desire is the cause of all motion. Love is law, the one and only law in God's universe, the one divine law. We will also realize that love is power, the only power in all the universe. With that knowledge we can use that power and command that law to work with us, for we will then know that God's law is our law. All faiths and spiritual traditions welcome. People of goodwill from all faiths and spiritual traditions are actively working with this daily rhythm. It is a brief practice that can easily be added to one's regular period of prayer or meditation. The active participation in the divine presence may further connect and link men and women of goodwill in a planetary service that transcends all barriers of race, creed, class, economic and political conviction. A worldwide network of light and goodwill is created for the distribution of spiritual energies. A light family network encourages men and women of goodwill to form and connect to the network of light and assist them by explaining the work to be done. We may publish a bulletin which is sent to all members and other interested men and women of goodwill. Issues educational material supporting the principles of Light Family and offers a weekly webinar for participants and those who want to find out more about the network. Stimulates the formation of units of service in which men and women of goodwill can join together in practical world service. Helps to organize daily and annual World Days of Invocation, known as Light Family Network Day. Supports initiatives to help widen the Light Family Network. There is increasing recognition of the power of meditation, prayer, visualization and visioning. This power can be employed on a global scale for spiritual purposes if we try to understand the spiritual needs of the world and the contribution we can make as a worldwide group. A light network is a group of people who connect and link each day in thought, feeling, meditation and prayer for a few minutes. Light family members need not necessarily live in the same locality, and many international networks exist. Each day members sit quietly for a few minutes, connect and link mentally with other members of their network. They invoke the energies of light, love and goodwill, visualizing and envisioning these energies as circulating throughout the all, and pouring in and out through the network surrounding the planet. At the same time they repeat the prayers and guided meditations, such as the Great Invocation, supporting to form a channel for the downpouring of light and love into the consciousness of humanity. The work takes only a few minutes each day and can fit into even the most crowded schedule. It is not necessary for members to synchronize the time at which the work is done, as once a network is built and functioning, it can be vitalized by any one of its members at any time of the day. We welcome the contribution of all men and women of goodwill who are willing to do the work outlined above and accept the world service objectives of the Light Family Network. There are no requirements for memberships. Light Family Network is simple, yet of deep spiritual significance. The following points may be useful. Light netting is an activity whereby a network of light and goodwill covering the entire planet is created and maintained. Why a network? A network provides the necessary interlocking strands or channels along which flow the spiritual energies of light, love and goodwill invoked by all Light Family members. What does the network consist of? The network is built of strands of lighted mental substance along which flows the energy of goodwill. How is the network built? The network is built and maintained by the daily action of each light family member invoking spiritual energies and using the creative power of the mind. How is the work done? Individuals connect and link in thought, feeling and purpose with the other members of their network, seeing the vital energies of light, love and goodwill circulating from point to point. They then direct the flow of energy into the network, clearly visualizing the radiant worldwide network of light, of which their own net is a part. They then sound their energy, prayers, and the great invocation with concentration and intention. Why use the invocation or calling? The use of the great invocation or the great calling focuses and releases the spiritual energies available for the vitalizing of the whole network. What is the motive for joining the Light Family Network? The motive is not for personal benefit but rather as a world service. How does the network increase? 1. In quantity, 2. In quality? 1. It is the responsibility of each Light family member to interest other men and women of goodwill and form new networks for the strengthening and expansion of the network. 2. The strength and radiant potency of the Light network depends upon the spiritual contribution of each individual member to the whole, which in turn depends upon the daily action of each member. How is each network maintained? Light family members keep in touch with each other by letter, personal contact or email, where possible, to ensure that their light net is maintained as a functioning unit within the network. Is Light Family Network a religious movement? Light Family Network is not connected with, or confined to, any one of the great world religions. It is a universal spiritual project which, in practice, includes men and women of all faiths and of no faith. The Light Family Network covers the globe. The Light Family Network is an active service to humanity for the benefit of all. Light family members contribute in a spirit of cooperation and selfless service, to stimulate and increase the flow of light, love and goodwill all over the world. The Great Calling Universal Light Family Network Meditation. From the source of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of humans and all beings. Let light flow from heaven to earth. From the source of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of humans and all beings. Let divine presence and consciousness unfold in all. From the place where the will of God is known, let divine purpose guide the wills of all. From stillness, let divine love and light work out for all. So be it. Love and light. Since it was first received and given to Alice Bailey in 1945, the Great Invocation has been practiced and sounded throughout the world and translated into over 80 languages and dialects as a message for all people of goodwill. As a result of its worldwide use over the years, the energy patterns of love and compassion by the Great Invocation are deeply anchored in human consciousness. Central Truths. Its beauty and strength lies in its simplicity and in its expression of certain central truths. The truth of the existence of a living intelligent mind to whom we vaguely give the name of God. The truth that behind all outer seeming, the motivating power of the universe is love. The truth that higher consciousness can manifest in ourselves and has done so in the past in certain individuals that came to earth and embodied that love so that we could understand. The truth that both love and intelligence are effects of what is called the will of God. And finally, the self-evident truth that only through humanity itself can the divine plan work out. Prepare men and women for the reappearance and awakening of the higher divine superconsciousness, known under different names in various cultures. This is our first and greatest duty. The most important part of that work is teaching men and women, on a large scale, to use the invocation and calling so that it becomes a world prayer and focuses the humanity on love, light and divine presence. The Great Invocation was always intended to be given mass distribution and to become a world prayer. In an increasingly pluralistic and multicultural world, the need is to continue to make the Great Invocation accessible to as many people as possible. Language is a living, changing means of expression, in keeping with changes in human consciousness. The prayer must be allowed to accommodate slight modifications of language without changing its overall meaning. The aim is to enable larger numbers of people to work with the Great Invocation in a slightly adapted form, and to nurture the transformation of consciousness so necessary in this period of planetary crisis. Two words in particular, men and Christ, have evoked greater misunderstanding than the rest. The word man comes from Sanskrit and means one who thinks, but in the modern mind this word is viewed as sexist and exclusive. Christ, unfortunately, too often is viewed as the sole province of Christianity and not relevant to people of other religions or of no particular religion. These 2 points we think can be modified, if deemed necessary, without compromising the unparalleled spiritual value of the great invocation in the version which follows. Our hope is that, whether one works with the original version or the adapted wording given above, or still being produced, its use will contribute to the transformation of consciousness that will enable one to penetrate beyond the words to the true meaning and significance of this great world prayer, altruism. Though some believe that humans are fundamentally self-interested, recent research suggests otherwise. Studies have found that people's first impulse is to cooperate rather than compete, that toddlers spontaneously help people in need out of a genuine concern for their welfare, and that even non-human primates display altruism. Evolutionary scientists speculate that altruism has such deep roots in human nature because helping and cooperation promote the survival of our species.